Serious. Okay.
Oh my god.
Ah, we have people there. Like 1 hour.
It's precious.
We have started our meeting.
Hi,
Okay.
good evening.
Can you hear me properly, Deborah? Can you
Very well.
confirm that? Awesome. And can you
Very
also check
well.
on YouTube if people can hear us properly?
All right, I'll do that as
YouTube.
well.
Yeah. All right. You can use another device to check that so it does not disrupt your system. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's really amazing being here today. I have this amazing people with us here today. Come on. Okay, I'm actually a little bit nervous. This is my first time having to do something like this with this kind of setup. It has always been each and every, like, the speaker or the guest, they sort of join from their own place, and I'm right there in my own room. But every one of us is here today, and it's going to be a lot collaborative, fun. Yeah, we are friends, so it's you guys should expect those jokes and laughs in between this during the session, which is going to make it more amazing. All right, I'm Precious Kolawole, and you people know me. I do data science, and I'm the host for you guys today. I have Deborah here, who is going to be moderating the chat section, and I have three amazing people. Oh my gosh, three amazing people. My right here is
Ife.
Ifeoluwa Oyetoro. Okay, and we have
Esther Osamo.
Esther Hosamo, and then we have
Chigozurim.
Chigozirim AK. Chigozirim was here with us in, I think that was August, right? She was here with us in August, and I believe you guys enjoyed all the bars she dropped for us that day. All right, so we are going to be going right into this session. I want to put a couple of banners. This is saying, where are you joining from? It's the regular banner. So just let us know where you are joining from. I know we are going to have a lot of people from Nigeria for sure, and then other places. Just make me feel excited. I have viewers all over the world. Okay, but don't lie. So let's I'm gonna put another banner. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe. That's really important. And give us a like. We need that like. So in as much as we are not doing this to get all the likes and stuff, but it makes sense to see them count and then boost up our energy, something like that. So if you have questions in between the session, please do well to put them in the comments. We want to see those questions. Although we won't go straight into those questions, I will give room to our speakers here to talk about their life and for you to learn from their story. But at the same time, drop your questions in the chat. I will make sure to go over them in between or even towards the end of the session. My bad, I don't talk this much on a normal day. All right, so let's let's get started. Yay! Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
Okay. uh it's interesting because this has been more of a scholarship related session and internship also. And our goal for this channel has always been to make sure newbies and people that are just getting started in tech, they have the right resources to navigate their career and also see people that are doing so well up there, and those people have sort of like navigated things getting to where they are, so we can like look at those people's stories and be able to learn one or two things we can incorporate in our own life as well. That has been the goal, and sort of help people have that direction and purpose. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna give room to them now, and I'll go straight to the first question. You know, they are in Canada, but we want to know their background. We want to know where they are coming from. So the first question I will ask here is, when did each of you come to Canada, and how long have you been living here? I can have it like that.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So, hi everybody. I came to Canada, I think 2010 or 2011. So I've been here for the past like 14 or 15 years.
Wow.
So majority of my life, or more than half of my life, has been in Canada, but the formative years of my childhood was in Nigeria. Yeah.
Interesting. So you've been here since 2010, and this is 2024.
Yeah.
14
14,
years.
yeah.
That's amazing. 14 good years. Esther, what about you?
Hey, I've been in Canada since 2015 September, so it has been about 9 years for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is interesting because I literally came to Canada 2 years ago. Chigo, can we have you?
Yeah, I've been in Canada for the past 3 years. I came in 2021. Yeah.
2021. So 14, 9, 3, 2. Right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, now we want them to like tell us about the story of how they came here. You know, it's interesting to know the journey. They've been here for a long time, but how did they eventually make it here? Can we like have it from Chigo all the way back?
Okay, so I entered the plane.
Sure.
And if we can give it a volume, so
Okay,
because
what was
it's
the
really
question? Sorry.
oh,
How did I?
tell us the story of how you came here.
Yeah, so I got my admission letter back in August 2020. I couldn't come to Canada immediately because of COVID, so I had to wait till the next year, which was 2021, before I eventually came to Canada. My parents handled the booking, like the tickets and everything, but they, I came here basically. That's all.
Okay, I wasn't expecting it to be that short, but thank you. So let's have Esther.
Yeah, mine is pretty short as well. My parents basically handled everything. Like we came here, the whole family came here basically in 2015. It was like a PR entry type thing. So like just one day our parents told us, "Oh, we're going to do a medical test to like qualify or something." And before I knew it, yeah, after JSS3, I was in Canada.
Wow, interesting. Okay, now we can see some patterns. Parents. What about you, Ifeoluwa?
parents as well. So
Okay.
I think in Nigeria, I just remember waking up one day and my mom was like, "We're going to Canada," and then I had to drive to go say bye to all my friends, and then we were in Canada. But yeah, my whole family moved as well, and it was just for, I guess, for better education, for a better life. The interesting thing is, like, my parents had wanted to move to Canada. Like, I think when I was born was
Wow.
when they really wanted to, but then stuff happened, but it didn't like actually go through until yeah 2020.
So there was like a gap between when you were born. Okay, now you are like, let's say 20 something. So that's almost like almost 10 years of having to wait till it eventually happened, right?
Yeah.
Do you see now? So sometimes we have things planned and we want things to happen, but they won't happen until it eventually happens, something like that. Okay, this is amazing. Now we can see that parents. I'm not telling you to go and pressure your parents to bring you to Canada, but this is for you guys to also see that. I know my personal story has always been, oh, I did this myself, I did it myself. That's not the only one way to actually move here, right? There are a lot of paths, there are a lot of directions to follow, right? And your own journey is going to be very much unique from my own. And you can see they all have different ones as well. So thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate that. So the next question is going to be around if you guys did high school here. You know, in Nigeria, we had this secondary school to university from primary school. Did you guys do high school in Canada or did you do it in Nigeria?
For me, it was a bit of a mixture.
Okay.
So JSS 3, I finished JSS 3 in Nigeria, and then when I came here, I actually had to go 2 grades back to grade 8, and then continue. Okay, it's because of age. I see you guys giving me that. I think something. No, it's because of age. Because if you come here early enough,
Hmm.
if you come here early enough, they kind of like put you based on your age.
Hmm.
So that's why I had to go 2 grades back, not because I
Okay.
failed any
Oh,
exams.
okay. Makes sense. So grade, what did you call it?
Grade 8,
8.
and then I went up to grade 12 before going to university.
Ah, okay. Now we are learning something new that they use grades in Canada and it's up to grade 8, grade 12 before you can now go to the university, right? Makes sense. Makes sense. What about you?
So I did all my high school here. I didn't enter any GSS in Nigeria, so I'm not
Okay.
traumatized. I didn't go to boarding school. I think I went up to primary 3 in Nigeria, and then we came here.
Primary 3. Ah, that makes sense. Primary 3 in Nigeria, and then you did the entire grade thing in Canada.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What about you, Chigo?
Yeah, I schooled in Nigeria through. But before coming, I went to a sixth form school. But it was for A levels, and
Sixth form.
yeah, prior to that, I went to secondary school, so JSS 1 to SS 3, and then yeah, schooled in Nigeria.
Do you guys see now? She schooled in Nigeria but did A levels to come to Canada. She schooled in Nigeria a little bit and then she joined them at grade 8 to grade 12. But she did the whole grading thing in Canada. She left in primary 3, right? So we can see the differences in, like, the pathways are different. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your questions so far. Your answers so far, rather. Now let's talk about your experience in Canada. You know, you all did grade. I don't know what they call that thing. The education system. Then after that, you entered university. You picked Carleton. You picked Ottawa, right? I can you guys tell us a little bit about your university experience? What has it been like to be a university student? And I know I have this information, the viewers don't have it. You guys are all in your first year, right? So I feel like it's been like 4 years, 5 years, 3 years of being in school, right? Give it to us. What has it been like being a student?
It's going
Okay, I can go first.
Please,
So
let's have you.
I think my university experience is a little unique because
Mm.
I'm not just in school, I also play for the university team.
Wow.
So I feel like 50% of my time is spent playing sports and the other 50 is spent like in school.
Mm.
So a lot of my friends and my social life in university is from my sports, from my sport team. I don't know as many people in my degree and in my program, but I know a lot of people on the sports side of
Wow.
university. But yeah, it's been great. First year was obviously weird because of COVID.
Yeah.
So I think that just it made things a little difficult because the way you study virtually for like virtual midterms is not the same way you study for like in-person
Yeah.
exams. So
That's
that
true.
transition was a little different, but it like we got through it. And yeah, but my university experience has been pretty great so far, and I'm
Imagine.
excited to graduate. I think I'm done with school. I'm done learning. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm not done learning, but I'm just ready to be out in the real world, working hard, making money, being a big girl.
Amazing. Can you guys say like she's someone who is into sport, like extracurriculars? At the same time, she's managing her education. So I have seen people that will tell me, I am a student. I can't do this with another thing. This is someone to look up to for real, because how she has been able to manage being in sport and actively playing for the team at the same time focusing on school. I don't want to like move too far, but she's also in tech, right? You know the demand of being in tech, and she's able to manage all of these things. So this is showing you all the possibilities out there in terms of managing your life and the other things you like. Okay, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Who do you want to go next?
Yeah, for sure. University has been good. Just like if I mentioned about COVID, I think she mentioned 1 year. For me, it was kind of like 2 years. So like I started university online, and I actually loved it. Like it was a different feeling of just waking up for 8 a.m. class, like literally rolling in bed and joining
Yeah.
from the bed. And like if I mentioned, the exams were like, I would say much easier because you don't actually have to memorize. You just use Control F. So yeah, it's been great. And then third year, I made the move from my hometown in Calgary, Alberta, to
Wow.
Ottawa. And yeah, that was definitely interesting. You know, new city, didn't know anyone, but yeah, thank God for you guys. Made some friends, and yeah, made it easier for sure.
This is amazing. I know a lot of people are really scared of change, like having to move from one city to another city, move from one place to another place, go from one level to another level. It's insane, but you just have to do it the way she did it, right? Thank you, Esther. Miss Chigo.
My university experience has been good. It's actually been amazing. I feel like I've gotten to meet people with different mindsets, perspectives on life. You know, things that obviously, like, we all have our upbringings, we all have our moral codes, but like when you come here, you really meet and you mix with people that are completely different. You know, and so I think that was interesting for sure. And then like other aspects of life, I think university also made me realize that you don't have, like, in as much as you don't have all the time to do whatever you want to do, you have to be very intentional, and that's like something that rings true. Is like whatever you want to do, you have to be intentional. And yeah, I've met really really amazing people that have pushed me, people that have challenged me to grow, to be a better version. And yeah, so I'll say, yeah, my university experience has been nothing short of amazing, and I'm grateful and excited to see what the future holds.
Amazing.
What a good
I
answer.
know. My friend.
Thank you.
This is amazing. So you're pretty much saying being in school has taught you a lot of life lessons
Right.
and also soft skills, right? That's why we are here. Thank you so much, Miss Chigo. All right. So now let's go to the professional aspect. I feel like we've done quite a lot talking about the backgrounds, how they came here and stuff. Let's go into the professional aspect because we are tech people, so we have to talk about the tech aspect. The question will be telling me about your professional self. What do you do in tech? Yeah. Okay, go for it. I trust you.
Okay, so what do I do in tech? A lot of my natural interests definitely lie more in the front end side
Mm.
of tech. I'm a software engineer, and I think like just to support why I like the front end side, I like being able to see like visual results right away. And with front end, as I'm sure some
Yeah.
of us might know, you can see those changes right away. But like in my professional experience through my internships, I've worked in both with both back end projects and front end projects. I've done some full stack projects,
Mm.
and there was a weird like 4 months where I did some data stuff. It was scary. I didn't like it, but yeah. So that my tech experience has been kind of all over the place. But if you're to ask what I prefer, I definitely lean more to the front end side of things.
Front end.
Yeah,
Now that you mentioned front end, should we say you like designing UI?
I do. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, amazing. So, a fair right here is that person who has done back end, front end, full stack, and she did data, which she did not like, and she's also into a lot of UI UX design and stuff. Oh, what about roles? Like,
Okay, all the roles have been like the role names have just been software engineering intern. Yeah,
okay,
but like the actual projects within those roles have been varied.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So she gets in as a software engineering intern, and then she can decide to say, I want to do front end, I want to do back end. Those are the flexibilities of being in tech. I love that. Thank you, Miss Esther.
Um, yeah, for me, I've mostly worked like software development,
Mm.
software engineering roles, and just like if I've kind of been across the stack, like front
Aha.
end, back end, full stack, but not no data, nothing like that.
Okay.
So I've actually had more front end experience since than back end, and then that has made me realize that I'm actually not a front end person. I prefer like at minimum probably full stack, like just being able to go across. But like front end alone is just yeah, it's to me it's like a different mindset.
Mm.
Like compared to back end. Back end is kind of like I mean from my experience it's mostly just like logic. But front end is like, oh, you're dealing with UI, color, and like things are not being placed properly. So yeah, that's
You like backend aspect out one thing between. Sorry about that. The camera was shaking. If you shake again, I'll be mad. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I want to point out aspect of like you don't really just have to stick to front end and just call yourself a front end developer. It makes sense to do everything, and then decide on the one you like, right? We can see it in both of the internships, right? They've done all of these things, and then this one is deciding I like front end, but she's deciding back end is what I like, or full stack is what I prefer, right? And it makes sense to see the differences in you guys, or what do I call it? Personality. Yeah, it's interesting. She's I love
Yeah, so I, as an infrastructure engineer, another name you may have heard is systems engineer. Another name could be DevOps or like cloud engineer. And yeah, I don't also like the front end. Like I try to stay far away from the front end as possible. I love working mentioned. I just really like being able to like you have an app already and then just being able to take that app from like your system to a user's device. I feel like that's like pretty cool. Not just that, but like also managing like maintenance and like yeah, I think infrastructure is like a pretty cool field. Through my internships, especially this recent one, I did work on a full stack project, and I think it made me appreciate front end developers, UI, UX designers more because there's a lot of detail that goes into designing an app, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
I love that. I love that. On this, like during this round alone, I've been able to count different tech stacks that we have, right? And if you are looking to get started in tech, there is DevOps, there is system engineering, there is front end, there is back end, there is UI, there is data, right? So you are getting that information now. Thank you so much, guys. Now let's talk about the internship aspect, which is the main thing I like what the title of this session follows, because I've always been amazed when I see what you guys do in these companies, like how many internships you guys have had in the past, and how you just keep switching. I'm here, I'm working here today, I'm working here tomorrow, I'm working there tomorrow. It's really fascinating, it's really interesting to see. So I want to ask you guys, can you like list the past companies you've worked at or where you currently work? Mix of everything. Let us know the companies so people can know where to submit their application.
For sure. I can go first.
Okay.
I started with a startup company called Where Effects Technologies.
Mm.
And then after that, I went into Amazon. And then after Amazon, Splunk. And then back to Amazon.
Mm. Where FS, Splunk, Amazon. Can you see only her? Where FS, Splunk, Amazon, while being an undergraduate student. Thank you so much, Esther. Let's have you.
I started working at TD Bank, and then I moved to SurveyMonkey. From SurveyMonkey, Nokia, and then back to SurveyMonkey.
Wow. Can you guys see why I'm actually amazed? TD Bank, SurveyMonkey, Nokia. This is amazing. Whereas I'm just here with Shopify, my one and only baby. Thank you, Shigo. Can we have you, Ife?
Okay, so I've had some in the public sector and some in the private sector. So private, I worked for Matrox Imaging,
You have to spell it.
Matrox
Trox.
X,
Okay.
and then Amazon.
Amazon.
And then for the public sector, because I also speak French, and that's something they really look for, I've been able to get some internships with them. So I've worked with Statistics Canada,
Yeah.
Environment and Climate Change Canada, just with ECCC. Matrix, Amazon,
Amazing.
Statistics Canada, Environment, and then I went back to Amazon again.
Environment Canada. This is amazing, guys. Sorry, I don't have a big, like a separate keyboard. Like these guys are amazing. Different internships, different companies. Can you guys tell us how you get into maybe the past one? The past one you did, like the most recent one. How did you get into that company? Someone should pick it.
I can go first.
Thank you.
So, my past internship was with Amazon. I was
Okay.
a software developer engineering intern. Or
Okay.
they call it that. How did I get into that? Okay, so I knew I wanted to like experience working at a big tech company just to gain that experience. So I applied online, and I know this is most people tell you to apply through a referral code or find someone that works at the company or go through
Yeah.
a recruiter. But I don't know. I just decided to apply online. So I
Wow.
sent my resume online, and then I got the online assessment, went through that, and then did the interview. But to prep, I did a lot of Lead Code. I even paid for Lead Code Premium
Sacrifice.
and did the Amazon only questions.
Okay.
Did it help? I don't know. But yeah, that's what I did in preparation for the interview. And like when I had the interview date, I would even say like I sacrificed school a bit in that I wasn't really focused on my classes leading up to that interview. Like I would just lead coding. And then when the
Wow.
interview was gone, I dealt with the consequences of my actions. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into Amazon. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. She's making me get teary because like I know we all believe that before you can get into a company, find someone to refer you. But if you are good enough, like if you are a strong applicant, you will definitely get it, right? With adequate preparation and mindset, you will definitely get it. And she talked about having a good resume. She submitted a good resume and then they called her back. But to eventually get into the process, Like to successfully scale the interview, she had to prepare lead coding. She even paid. Some of us will be like, if it's not free, I'm not doing. Can you say you have to sometimes say, I'm gonna sacrifice my money to get what I need. Thank you so much, Ife. Who is going next? I will not point hand now.
I'll just
Someone
go
should
next
take it.
then. So mine is actually really, really similar.
Okay.
My most recent internship is also Amazon. So for me, it was actually interesting because the first role I actually got with Amazon was solutions architect. So I got an offer, I accepted it and everything. But like I was still kind of unsure because my passion was like actually developing software. So it's like another one
Not
came
solutions.
up. So another one came up with like software development, and I'm like, okay, let me try again. And then I kind of went back in the pool, and just like if I said, you get sent an online assessment. So I also didn't use it like any referrals.
No referrals.
Yeah, just resume. So online assessments, getting ready for that, decoding, and like getting past that, having like the technical interview and like behavioral and like yeah. That's
If you don't mind telling us, how many rounds of interviews?
It was actually just one round. So after
One
the
round,
online
okay.
assessments, there's like I think it was like 45 minutes, and then the first 10 to like 15 minutes is behavioral, and then they like give you a question and you just sit there and like just solve it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If you don't mind telling us, how did you put your resume together? Like what was inside your resume that
Okay.
sparked those people and they could not resist?
Let me see. I actually did a lot of research and I attended a lot of talks about how to structure your resume and making sure that it's a one-page resume.
That thing.
And yeah, because at the time I think I didn't have as much experience, so I ended up like putting my projects before my experiences. So my projects were kind of like my experience,
Okay.
I think, but just knowing how to structure it. And then I also attended because Google likes like data. They like data points in their resume bullet points. So like if you search it up, there's a Google resume format. It's like accomplished X by doing Y through Z.
Yeah.
So a lot of my bullet points in my resume were following that format. I tried to include as many data points as I could, numbers, and yeah.
That's amazing. One thing is put metrics. Don't just say I worked at S as this and I left on the so date. They don't care about that information. But you want to tell them while I was there, I worked on this project, I had achieved this accuracy, I scaled this product by so percent. I did this, I did that. Metrics, values, numbers. They love seeing those things. And she mentioned, oh come on, she mentioned if I don't care. She mentioned one-page resume. I feel like that's another conversation for another day because I'm not a big fan of one-page resume.
Okay.
Why are you trying to bring my glory together in one page, right? I'm not a fan of that. But she used that template and it worked for her. She was able to find a way to structure it into that one page and it worked for her. So these are lessons we can take out of what she just said. Thank you so much, Ife. Miss Chigo, give us the tea.
So my I didn't actually lead code at all. Because I feel like like the role was different. So to prepare, I think the first thing I did, I went through, top 10 cloud computing concepts, right? So just to familiarize myself with cloud computing. That year, I had gotten my AWS SSA, so Solutions Architect. And so, I still had, the knowledge was still fresh, but I needed something like a refresher. And so I went through that, watched so many YouTube videos. I also sacrificed school a little bit just because priorities, man. And then, I also prepared for behavioral interviews because I felt like I was lacking the technical, like lead code, and so I wanted to make up for it in behavioral interviews. So it was more so identifying my strengths and weaknesses, also looking at the time frame. Was I going to be a lead code god in 2 weeks? Absolutely not. But like I could, learn how to communicate my thought processes, learn how to ask questions, and just have a good conversation with the interviewer. That's time. Well, the first step was a recruiter call. The next step, I met with the manager, And then I had 3 back-to-back rounds with the engineers on the team I'll be working with. Yeah, and so that was it.
And were those technical questions?
They were very technical questions, but not like, oh, show me how to invert like a system or whatever, or like you have a Kubernetes cluster, how would you find the logs? Like very technical in that sense. And then just asking you like, what do you do when you type in Google? Like, what happens behind the scenes when you type in Google.com, and like just being able to communicate the process and not just like get into an answer. Yeah, that was the whole. Right.
That's amazing. Like scaling the behavioral aspect of the interview and being able to communicate your thought process, being able to give the right answer the interviewer is asking. Those are like needed skills to scale these interviews. If the recruiter is saying A and you are saying B, you are on your own, basically. Thank you so much, Miss Chigo. Because I feel like when I also had to like do interviews for one company like that, I can't remember. There was this platform I downloaded. It kind of just it connected me with other recruiters, other people that are trying to interview for roles all over the world. And I did a lot of behavioral because I am this person. I just talk without thinking. Maybe you guys have noticed, right? So so I needed to make sure I was communicating the right thing. And sometimes a lot of things have happened in your life and you think they are good answers for the interviews, but you don't want to be talking the entire time when you are supposed to be specific and say, this is the part I want you guys to know about, right? So I had to learn those things, and this is a testimony in the life of Miss Chigo. Thank you so much. All right, let's go into co-op aspect, because in Canada here, I know students get to enroll in the co-op program. And I think, who can define co-op? Because I'm not there. I don't know. Who can explain co-op?
You know what? My degree actually has a mandatory co-op, so I should be able to explain it.
Okay.
Co-op is it's basically when companies work together with universities to create student specific roles. So every company in a co-op pool wants university students, and the roles they have are what's it called? Suited for university students. So if you're in a co-op program at school, you get access to these companies that like deliberately want university students, and then you're able to apply to those companies. And yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And in you guys' journey, were you guys in co-op? Let's start from there. You already said your own had co-op. What about you?
Initially, I was, but I left the co-op program.
Aha.
Yeah. It was not the grade. It was an upgrade, actually. Okay. Disclaimer: co-op I couldn't get a first job through co-op. So my first job was outside of co-op. So it's like, what's the use? And
Actually, you just entered my first question because I'm like, Chigo, let's have you first. Are you in co-op? Okay, same story. Because I wanted to ask, did the provision of this co-op stuff help you guys at all in the process of getting these roles?
Okay, for me, my first job, the one with Matrix, was through co-op.
Okay.
But I will be honest, let me not spoil co-op.
they're not paying you.
Okay. The kinds of jobs and companies within co-op, they're not as like juicy and as enticing as the jobs outside of co-op. So
Yeah.
I think co-op was good for me to just get that first internship, get something on my resume.
Yeah.
But all of my other jobs after that were jobs I found myself.
Yourself.
No, and I'll also say co-op is good for getting government of Canada jobs. I'll also say
Okay.
that.
Okay. Good
So
one.
it has its ups and
Okay.
it's not necessary, but it might help you just get your foot through the door.
Okay.
Then you can-
Foot through the door makes sense. I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting somewhere. It's interesting. Miss Esther.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Ife. Like, you should not leave the co-op program before getting your first job. Because your first job, literally anything, like you just need to get in there, and then they say it gets easier, which it does get easier. So for me, it just wasn't worth it. Like I said, I couldn't get me my first job, and like if I stayed in it, it's like I had to pay fees,
Yeah.
I had to write reports. Oh, and the resume they tell you to write. It's probably not the best. It's like 3 pages. You're writing paragraphs. They're not even saying did X by doing Y, which led to Z. So yeah, it just wasn't worth it for me.
Makes sense. Okay, it's coming together. Miss Chigo, let's hear about your own experience with co-op.
Yeah, actually I agree with everything that's been said. I feel like co-op definitely has its pros and cons. Um, I left because their requirements, like we couldn't really come to an agreement that worked for me. In regards to, I wanted to take 3 courses, but you can't take 3 courses on a co-op, work term, and so that didn't work out. But I feel like when you want to get your foot in the door, definitely, co-op is a good opportunity, because these for
Yeah.
you and I, and so they give priority to those students sometimes. And also, if you're international, an advantage, co-op allowed me to work on a school term. I don't think you can do that when you're international students. So I think I benefited from, you know, being able to convert a study term to a work term through the co-op program. And yeah, as everyone has said, it has its pros and cons. So just yeah, full stop. Full stop.
Quick question for you. Did you get your first job through co-op?
No, I actually did not get my first job through co-op. It was
Okay.
a self-directed job search. But I still had to, pay the admin fee and then, write the reports.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. I was trying to arrive at this thing because those of us, I know a lot of the audience, they are from Nigeria, Africa specifically, and I don't think we have this structure of co-op, being able to work while being a student. It's more like you are studying, but if you want to work, you have to do that on your own. This university is not aware of that, and most of those things you get na side also, not really like something professional in the tech space, right? But at the same time, this is making me also realize that you can be in the co-op program here too, but the fact that you don't have access to those things does not mean you are at a disadvantage per se, right? We don't have a system that provides us with co-op in Nigeria, but at the same time, you can find your, like, you can make a path for yourself in the absence of these things. They've made us realize the pros and cons. Most of them did not even get their first job through co-ops, right? Through co-op, they didn't get it. So which means, well, if you come here and you are studying here, you can get into a good co-op program and you can get your first job through it. But that does not mean you will get it. And if you are not also here, it does not mean you cannot make it or you cannot get a job, right? I did not do co-op, right? So it's making you realize the different paths we have to achieve these things. My first job was just like a an article. Someone read it and he liked it and he reached out to me. Can you convert this article to code? And we did it, right? So there are different ways. You are in Nigeria and you don't have access to co-op, does not mean you can't get a job, right? You have to go out there and find it. Thank you so much, guys. And I've been opportune to speak to people in Canada also that are trying to sort of get jobs through co-ops, and they've attended a lot of career fair sessions, but those jobs are just not coming forth. They've tried, they've searched, but it's not coming forth, right? Well, she entered TD without co-op. She entered her first job. What's the first one? Where first without co-op. She said she was able to get into Canadian companies with co-op, but the other ones not through co-ops, right? So it's making you see that you can actually find your way and get what you want, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I love this. Mm. Now let's go into the aspect of, will you advise someone to pursue big companies or should they go with startups first?
I think I can
Okay,
first.
go first.
I think it depends on your goal. Startups move very fast, and some of them use the latest tech. So if that's what you want, like if you want to, I don't know, like use the latest tech, work in a fast-paced environment, then yeah, go with a startup. I feel like for me, there's no like, oh, this is right or this is wrong. It's just wherever you find yourself and where you see yourself in the future, right? So like, okay, I want to work here, I want to do XYZ in my career, and so go with the company that aligns with those goals, whether like a startup or a big tech, and yeah, go from there.
Thank you. Thank you. Find a company whose goals align with your personal goals. Did I summarize it?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. So don't want to do A and you are chasing B, right? There must be correlation between what you want and what they are offering. Is anybody thinking of more points to that?
It's a
Big
good
tech or
point.
startups?
Yeah, I'd say it obviously depends on what you want. But
Mm.
for me, I started with startup, and I felt like, especially as someone who didn't have a lot of experiences, at startup you wear a lot of hats. Like you're doing design, front end, back end, studying the database. It's like you do a lot of things. Or maybe it's just from my experience, it was like we had to build an app from scratch, basically. So I feel like that's definitely not experience you get at big companies. Big
Yeah.
companies, you just get like most times it's like a side project, things like that. So startup definitely has its own.
That's really true. Because in school now, I know we get to just we can build projects on our like from scratch in school, right? But when we enter big tech companies, they already have those working systems, and we just have to like add button, remove button. I'm sorry, that's not what we do, but they get the gist. Yeah. If do you want to?
So I've never actually worked at a startup,
Hmm.
but one thing I'll say for big tech is sometimes the name on your resume really does stand out. So like having a name like Google or
Hmm.
what's Meta or Amazon on your
Yeah.
resume,
Okay.
like that can stand out to a recruiter who might not know startup.com incorporated, one small startup company like that,
Keep giving
right?
us those
So
shit.
just having that big tech name on your resume can go a long way. So that would be my, especially if you're just starting out,
Hmm.
I would say big tech
Big tech.
might look
Hmm.
better.
That's interesting. I don't know what I really think about this, but they both have like you can decide to go for startups for the experience or because your passion aligns with them. But if you really want to stand out for real, you must have those big names. So when they see it, they don't even have to question you per se. You just like come and start tomorrow, something like that. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Now let's go to the aspect of getting return offers. It's interesting because I've never been in that position where I have to fight for a return offer or make them tell me to come back. But I'm going to put the question this way: how did you position yourself to get return offers from your companies, and what is the best way to approach those negotiation meetings?
Okay, I can go first.
Okay,
So my only experience about return offer is actually just Amazon.
okay.
So Amazon, the process is actually very streamlined. It's like there's kind of a bar, and it's like you either pass it or not. So literally your last meeting with your manager is like, hey, yes, you're inclined, or no, you're not. And obviously, like to get the votes of yes, there's things you have to do, like actually finishing your project, and just always constantly talking to your manager, like asking for feedback. 'Cause a lot of times they'll tell like, oh yeah, maybe you should speak more in meetings and actually show that you're doing that. Like make sure you're talking to people and like getting feedback from people as well. But yeah, for Amazon it's pretty straightforward. It's basically yes or no. And then if you get the yes, it's based on head count. And getting that yes obviously depends on your performance and your
Performance.
relationships.
Interesting. So when you get the job, it's not like you start feeling I've gotten the job, I can relax. You have to do the job on the job.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to do the job and pass the badge you just mentioned. Like if you don't give in the work, you can't get the result. So if you don't show up, there is no way you want to expect them to tell you to come back if you did not contribute anything to their team. Sort of.
So I got return offers when I worked with Environment Canada. I got a return offer to do part-time work with them.
Okay.
And then I also got a return offer for Amazon. Esther basically said the things for Amazon, so I won't go over that. But for Environment Canada, one thing that really helps me, yes, performance, but just building those relationships with not every like internship will have an assigned mentor, but I think just naturally there'll be a full-time worker that you're close to. So just really building that relationship with the mentor and letting them know that you do have like you do want to come back and you do want like to get the opportunity to come back, and then talking to them, showing them all your good sides, maybe not, don't show them all your bad sides as well. If you're struggling with something, maybe it's not all of those things you mentioned to that person. So just like presenting the best version of yourself to the mentor, because I think that mentor has a lot of sway in like whether or not you get an offer. So perform well, but also make sure you form those relationships. And that's where the soft skills come into play, right? So like, are you able to communicate well? Are you someone that adds, like, do you have energy? Do you have good energy? Do you bring good vibes to the meetings? Are you somebody that someone would want to work full time with? Yeah.
This is amazing. We attended one session one time, and the speaker talked about skill currency and relationship currency. I feel like she pretty just mentioned the relationship currency aspect, because you must wherever you are. You want to make sure that relationship currency is something really, like, we spend currency, right? Yeah, version of yourself. It makes sense to show them your struggles, but if you are coming with me with all your struggles, I think you are not that serious and you don't know how to navigate life. So if I see another person that can get the job done quickly without stress, thank you so much, Ife. Okay, we can continue. I've not gotten to Miss Chigo, right?
For the return offer.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they actually, they anything really that I was going to say. Just
Okay. If Okay, talking to people at home now, if you have questions, please drop them in the chat. We are like halfway done, almost. We are getting to the end of the session, and we get to look at people's questions. Then a lot of technical difficulties here, so don't mind me breaking. Good. I think we're back. Okay. Um. Now I'm going to ask like you guys one question about your uniqueness. What do you think was unique in you guys' applications for real? If we want to take a look at it, because a lot of people are out there trying to get into these companies, but they are not really getting it. Some people will say they've submitted 100 applications, 200 applications, right? What do you think was unique in you guys' application? And is there one piece of advice you will give to anyone searching? Yeah.
I guess I'll go first.
I was looking at
Yeah, for me, it's like, I mean, if you don't have experiences, people, the first things first is like using your school projects and actually putting it up there. And hopefully the tech stack is good, But aside from that, I feel like I remember when I applied to Amazon, I was working for like a school club at Carleton to develop, like, help refugees like build the website. So I feel like things like that really stand out, and just things you do on the side. Like I built a video game mod and like it got tons of downloads. Like just having cool things like that in your resume, but obviously not neglecting the actual skills, like trying to fit obviously what they require, like making sure that's there first and foremost, and then add in your own like personal flair, like community stuff.
Follow-up question for you. How do you get motivation for personal projects?
Um, I mean, for that one, it's like, okay, to be very like candid, I was applying, so I was
Okay.
like, okay, how can I do something? And then I looked for something to do,
Mhm.
and it's like in that moment, I was playing a video game, and like the
Aw.
mod seemed like a. So I feel like look for opportunities, I guess, and hopefully it's in the like a good tech stack that you can use, especially like tech stack of the company you want to get into.
Yeah,
So things like that.
that makes a lot of sense. Oh, apply and try and do things that will get you into that role, sort of. I don't know if I summarized that.
You missed like
My
I mean,
bad.
you do the things before applying because
Do the
it's your
things before
resume.
applying.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like she's telling us, do those work, put it on your resume,
There you
then
go.
apply.
Yeah.
Okay, now I get it. Okay, thank you so much. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Okay.
I would say the first thing I'll say is, well, I'll say the first thing I'll say anyway. But yeah, the first thing I'll say is don't give up.
Mm.
There's lights at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes things take time, and that's okay. So that's like the first, piece of advice. Just keep searching, keep putting yourself out there, and don't give up. The second thing I'll say is, yeah, just like Esther has said, um, you know, work on those projects, yeah, and then put them on your resume. And let's say, for example, let's say you've been, just as Precious said, you've submitted hundreds of applications. I think this could be a time for you to just take a step back and actually analyze what you've been doing. Like, let's say, like, you may not have, maybe you are doing everything right, maybe you're not, right? But like, there are areas, identify areas you can improve on, and work to fill those gaps. So if you just submit your application full stop, you can be like, okay, maybe I can connect with a recruiter on LinkedIn and just be like, oh, hey, I'm looking for so, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, and then move on from there, or connect with someone who works at those companies, right? So, like, just, yeah, find gaps and improve, basically.
Makes sense. You've been applying, you are not getting answers. Look for areas you can improve on and improve on those things, then apply again. Yeah, thank you so much, Chico. And what about your motivations for projects? It's okay if you don't want to answer the question.
I really just like exploring. Like, when a new technology comes out, I'm like, okay, how can I use this technology? How can I actually? I think the first question I ask myself is, why do I want to use this technology in the first place? Because even at work, like when you work on certain projects, you have to defend, not really defend, but like, okay, why DynamoDB? Why are you not using Mongo? That type of thing. So it's like, just, okay, why do I want to learn? And then once I have my why, I will just pick up something I call a proof of concept to show that I know how this thing works. I don't need to be a master or like a god, but like, so far as I can, build something small. It could be like a server, or like, I don't know, like a web script or whatever, just like to show that I know this thing, and then full stop. That's it.
Amazing. What about you, Chico? Ife? Sorry, dear.
you sound like my mom. I don't worry. Just I agree with everything they've said. Maybe one thing to add is just oh yeah, finding online communities and surrounding yourselves with people who are also hungry for these opportunities.
Yeah.
I know, like, I was part of like this women in tech group. There's so many different online like communities of, maybe if you're a women in tech, if you're a black men in tech, like there's
Yeah.
so many different niche groups to join. And when you join those communities, you'll find resources, you'll find other people in the same boat as you, so that's
Yeah.
also motivating. And yeah, it makes you feel less alone in this job search and in this search. And yeah, I think it really helps, and it does go a long way. And sometimes these little communities might have like special invitation links from certain
Yeah,
companies, so
yeah.
that's always like a good link to apply through. So yeah,
Makes
just look
sense.
online. There I think Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're online communities to chat.
Let me follow up on that. Do you think school projects are worthy of being on the resume?
Of course. I think when it comes to projects, honestly, when you're starting out and you don't have that much experience, I think
Mm.
I'm more of a quantity over quality
Mm.
person. That's how what I think anyways when you're
Okay.
first starting out. And school projects can help a lot to just fill in that gap because
Makes sense.
project and like anything is better than zero.
Yeah.
Anything is better than nothing. And once you like go through those school projects, once you like actually start finding out things you like Chica, then you're able to work on better quality projects and then you replace those with the school projects.
Thank you so much, guys. This has been amazing. This has been amazing. Can we look at one question, Deborah? Okay. Yeah, okay. We have this question from Shetemi Lawal. She is asking, what mistakes did you make in your career journey that you would tell people to avoid? Wow. She came prepared. Let's give them some minutes. And we can come back to the question.
I think I can answer.
Okay.
So I would say one mistake I made was working on my strengths and ignoring my weaknesses.
Hmm.
So I like feeling good about myself. So working on the things I was already good at made me feel even better about myself. But obviously, I was just getting weaker in the things I wasn't good at. So, like for example, just like for in this in like the context of tech or whatever, or even applications, like I'm really good with behavioral questions. I'm really good at having those conversations with the interviewer. Like I'm really good at forming those connections, but I wasn't as strong in my technical side. And then for some reason, I just spent more time looking up how to ace behavioral interview questions, knowing like I don't know, I couldn't do well in the technical. But I think when I actually like
Hmm.
address the fact that okay, if like, you're weak at this, you need to work on this. That's when I started seeing different results. So just it, work on your weaknesses and be honest with yourself about what you're weak at.
This is amazing. This is amazing. Don't think I'm not doing well at it, but I can do well at this one to cover up for it. You are just setting yourself up for, don't let me say, failure. Thank you so much, Ife. Thank you. I wanna go next.
Perfect.
Esther is trying to be.
Still thinking.
She wants to have this tease. Wow, so you guys don't have weaknesses.
Let me take back my answer.
Because you said mistakes, right?
Oh, okay, mistakes. While they are thinking of something to say, I think I can mention one here. One big lesson I learned on the way was to never close a door in the way I won't be able to come back and knock. I learned that, and it was interesting because I had just finished a job and it was not the best experience. I tried my best. I put in the work. I was loved by my CEO and my supervisor, but one thing just led to the other, the way I left the company, because I was forward thinking. I was looking for the next big thing to do, right? So when I saw that next big thing, I jumped on it. Maybe I killed it or not, who cares? But I wasn't able to manage where I was properly before going for that next big thing, right? So it was interesting. Although everyone is now back, I am fine with the way it was, the way I was able to come back and fix things. But yeah, that was a very big lesson. When you want to say bye bye to a company and you want to go to another one, don't just say, I'm done here, I'm leaving. No, think about it, cultivate good relationship. We just talked about relationship currency. Spend it the right way, right? Don't just leave and be like, I'm done here, I'm going to the next one. Yeah. Next person, have you guys been able to think?
Also, just to add on to what you said,
Mm.
I think when you work at different companies, like different companies equals different experiences, right? And a mistake I made. Yeah, so when I started working at, let's say, company A, and then when I moved to company B, I didn't like company B. Like, I wasn't really motivated. I just wanted to, not really wanted to leave, but just because company A had a different culture. And so I think the mistake I made was just assuming that every company I worked for would have company A's culture, and I shouldn't,
That's really
in
big.
quotes, settle for less. But that also impacted, the work I was doing at company B. It's impacted the way I related with my co-workers. Company B was just something that I just needed to get at that time to fulfill a requirement. And so I didn't really, cultivate those relationships or like really invest in the work I was doing. And I think that's one of my mistakes I made was just, not putting in as much effort and also making the assumption that every company has, same culture, same vibe. And yeah, I would just tell people to, whenever you're moving, just understand that every company is different. And you're never going to you may get something similar, but just like tell yourself, like, this is different, this is a new environment, and give yourself something to look forward to, like reasons to show up,
Yeah.
reasons to do the work, even though you don't like your coworkers. Like, just give yourself those reasons to show up every day.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is amazing. Companies have different cultures, and we just have to settle with that. Companies have different culture. Where you were is not going to be the same as where you are going. One big thing I've been doing is to be very, very open-minded. Like, I come with a very open heart. Whatever you give me at that first instance, I take it and I use God's wisdom and what I've learned so far to manage it and give them the right result, right? Being open-minded has really helped me. Companies have different cultures for sure. So you want to, yeah, like she said, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. One mistake I made, like, I guess, yeah, early on, was just spending too much time and just in general not asking for help right away. It's just there's this
You guys are raising me up.
so there's this thing where it's like you think you ask questions and people look at you like in a
Yeah.
dumb way. So like my first internship at Amazon, there was a lot of that, of like trying to quote unquote deep dive into a lot of things and just trying to get the answers myself. That my manager actually we had a meeting and he's like, yeah, maybe work on speed. And yeah, like literally, it's like, yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. It's like, sure, the work is quality, but like you
Yeah.
don't want to, like, deadlines are there for a reason. You never want to sacrifice that. I feel like what helps is probably setting some kind of like, okay, maximum I can spend on this is 2 hours. If I'm not getting anywhere, or like you just know for a fact you're not making any progress, just ask people. And usually, like if I mentioned, it's always nice to find someone on your team that probably won't judge you as much, like probably who joined a little sooner, so you can always bombard them
Yeah,
with your
questions. This is very, very profound. Is she here? Okay, let me add that back to the stage. Okay. Like what she just said is amazing. Like you need to know how to ask for help when you need it. Don't be that person that would just, I used to be like that. I would just dig my head into the code, trying to find iron woman. It won't get you anywhere. You want to ask for help when you need it. Ask that question in the right way, and you'll see people very open to help you. That's one big thing I appreciate about my company. People are so down to help. If you ask them, they will help you even more than what you are requesting for. So if you are now sitting down solving it on your own, you are literally changing yourself, right? So ask for help, and no question is dumb. We want to know that for sure. No question is dumb. You probably think it's dumb, but probability is that one person in that room also has the same question, right? So just do it. That's my new mantra. Just do it. I don't care about the outcome. I will do it, right? Thank you, Esther. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Shetemi. You made us spill all our, I don't know. But yeah, the next question is saying, for someone coming from a non-technical background, how soon is too soon to apply for internships and jobs? How soon is too soon to start applying? You are coming from a non-technical background. Maybe you are just learning, I want to assume. when is it too soon? Like, when is the right time to get yourself out there and start applying?
I can answer from my opinion. I don't think there's I don't think there's anything that's too soon. I think just apply, apply, apply. Like think of application as like a it's like a constant thing. Like you're constantly applying, and as you gain experience, you add to your resume, apply again. You gain more experience, add to your resume, apply again. So you're just constantly in a state of application, and you never know what will stick, right? You might get an opportunity earlier than you think you would. So I don't think you should wait until a certain point before you apply. Just apply, 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 apply.
Okay. She's telling
Iteratively, incrementally apply.
yeah. Do you get now? Don't just say I don't think I'm qualified. I don't think I'm good enough. Probably you're even better than me right here, and you are thinking you are not good enough to start applying. Once the thought comes to your mind, start applying. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think I very much support that. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I feel like it's literally nothing related to tech. Like I think it might be too soon. Like
Okay.
at least yes, you're learning some courses, but like the things you work on in your courses, like I definitely think you should add it to your resume because a lot of times they are requirements for a reason, and I feel like sometimes recruiters, or most likely recruiters, are looking for those not all of it, but like a little of those requirements. Yeah. So I just think have something related to tech.
Okay.
Not like dance.
Fair. That makes sense. That makes sense. At least if you are coming from a non-technical background to a technical role, make sure you have the background of that technical role you want to apply for, right? Don't just be, or what's that thing when you are throwing arrows at the target?
Darts, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Esther. Chigo.
Mm, I would say you can not really you can do both, but you can like in addition to what has been said, you can prepare maybe like get the skills while applying. So like yeah, like obviously when you first apply you may not meet all the requirements, and you may actually never meet all the requirements because you're coming from a whole new background, right? So I think just trying to get those requirements and then applying. So like if you get, I don't know, next JS, then your next job, like yeah, just like keep doing it, prepare, apply, prepare, apply. So that's what I would say.
Thank you so much. So she's telling us you can do both at the same time. Learn a skill, apply for the role. Learn another skill, apply for the role. Actually, there are many ways to these things, right? Just make sure you are true to yourself and you are doing the right thing. That's one thing I try to follow. I must feel like I must be sure to a very good extent, like be confident in what I'm doing, and every other thing can keep quiet, right? So maybe you want to implement that as well. Thank you. Okay, Shetemi, we've answered those questions. Let's go to Oladunjoye Gabriel. Can you please tell us what you do mostly when you feel like giving up, and age wisely can we still like apply for internships, Nigerian factor? Okay, what are the things you think are necessary for us to do? A lot of questions are like in this one question. The first one is saying, what should we do when you feel like giving up?
Girl.
She said give up. No, she didn't mean that. Okay, and age wise, can we still apply for internships? I know that's a big question. Do you guys have answers to that?
Yeah, age-wise, you can definitely still apply. There's someone on my team, my most recent team at Amazon. Like I think he finished 2 degrees and then decided he wanted to go and do software. So it's like he's probably like 28, 29, 30, and he was an intern
Imagine.
and then started again, like got full-time offer.
See?
So it's never too late.
Exactly. I'm even feeling like the fact that you are old means you know how to get a lot of things done than interns that are pretty young, right?
There was a 40-year-old intern on one of the teams. as well
Imagine
that I knew.
40 years.
Yeah, age is just a number.
Yeah. That's amazing. I feel like each and every one of us have actually like maybe one time with the other had a fellow intern who is way older than we are. So the fact that age is counting does not mean you can't be an intern. Now I'm thinking Nigerian factor. Hmm. Honestly speaking, I feel like it's applicable everywhere. Yeah, it's applicable everywhere. I don't really have any experience per se when I was in Nigeria working with a fellow intern who was way older. But at the same time, I feel like this is applicable everywhere. Too much want to know you are doing the right thing and you are getting the experience you need for that next thing you want to do. She also mentioned like full-time opportunities after the internship. That's what most companies do. After your internship, they convert you to a full-time. So you just need to make that sacrifice of like 4 months, 6 months of being that intern, and the next thing you know is you are already working full-time, right? Ah, what do you do when you feel like giving up?
Remember your wife.
Mm. I sorry to digress. I started seeing this women podcast, and when somebody drops a verse, like, okay, thank you. Now continue.
Yeah, remember your wife. Basically,
Mm.
what I do, well, what I used to do, I would write out my motivation, for anything in life, and I'll put it on the wall in my room, or like just in front of me, because like in front of my desk rather. So every day I wake up, I'm seeing it. Like sometimes, yes, you would feel like giving up. And also, yeah, just like remember your why, and I'll say surround yourself with like-minded people, community, community, community. So yeah, that's what I'll say.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, just to add on to that, like if we look at a mountain, the hardest part of the this is my mountain. The
Yeah.
hardest part of the climb is right when you're almost about to get to the peak. So when you really feel like I can't do this anymore, I'm about to give up. That's usually when you're closest to like that breakthrough. So
Yeah.
yeah, using what Chiga said, remember your why, community, and just keep pushing because life is in seasons, right? Like this won't last forever, and
Yeah.
there's certain seasons where you're just meant to put your head down and grind, 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 grind
Yeah.
to achieve the seasons of leisure, and so it sucks, but you just have to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I like that mountain description. It's always hard here.
Yeah, I feel
Say
like they're
something?
really great answers.
Okay,
Like
okay.
I've actually learned from the answers.
I like
so-
that. One thing that popped in my head was also around that, uh, like looking back at the the achievements you've had also will probably help. Sometimes we are like too focused on what we want to get next and where we want to be, and we forget everyone we've achieved in the past, right? So it makes sense to right now have like a place you document your wins, and during those trying times, you can look at those wins. Like I did this, I did this, I did this. Yay, I'm an achiever. Let me keep going. Something like that. It's like something to is it flare you up?
Yeah.
Fuel.
Fuel.
Fuel. Something to just keep you going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I hope we answered your question, Oladujoye. Okay. And what are the things? Okay, he's also asking, what are the things you think we can do if we want to go into tech as newbie, especially data science and machine learning engineering? Okay, this is my field. Is anyone in data here? They all don't like data. I don't know why. Okay, what do you think? I didn't come here to answer questions, but I'll try. What are the things you think we can do if we want to go into tech as newbie? Uh, I will say I mostly tell people to be passionate. Actually, you must have passion for what you want to do. If you want to be in tech, make sure you see yourself actually solving some problems there. I know it's hard for you to visualize the problems you want to solve in that field before getting started, but there are times when you can, maybe if you like cooking, for example, when you are in your kitchen adding recipes together, like making food, and you are probably thinking of how can I make this better, how can I have an algorithm that can compute recipes, that can do this, right? So make sure you are passionate about tech, And when you passionate, and since you're a newbie, you probably don't know how to, but I would say have a laptop. That's the only thing. Have Wi-Fi data, right? And then you want to sort of like have a roadmap of what you want to learn. This is the aspect of you connecting with people that are already doing that thing. I know it's also hard for you to say, this is what I want to do. We talked about some people want to like Esther full stack, front end, DevOps, data. We can see how diverse the tech space itself is, right? So it can be hard right off the bat to know what exactly in tech you want to do. But I will sort of just say, based on your interest, you can define it based on what you like. If I say I like recipes and I want to build an algorithm to solve that problem, for example, the front end can help, but I don't know. UI UX, I don't know. Full stack, maybe the back end aspect a little bit, but I know data for sure can solve that. I just need data of recipe of past curry, maggi, salt, sugar, data of those things, and I can build something like that. And I also say the your degree also matters. If you studied economics, for example, you can easily come up with, okay, I can combine economics with data, I can combine economics with this. Or if you did home economics, based on your degree, you can also make that decision. So I would say find someone who is already doing what you want to do, since you've achieved that thing of, okay, this is what I want to do. Find someone who is doing it and look at, maybe you check their LinkedIn profile and you see the skills they have. Look at those skills, the programming languages they learned, and start learning those languages. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Oladujoye Gabriel, for being on this call. We spent almost 1 hour 21 minutes. Okay, that's interesting. Um. Okay, for someone in Nigeria looking for internship opportunities in the big tech companies from the wealth of experiences, can you share tips to be a good fit for international opportunities? Yeah, it's a good question.
For internships, well, you'll just say like don't require sponsorship basically,
Mm.
and you should be able to work. Yeah.
Okay, so good tips for international opportunities. I think maybe I can't really answer specifically to international opportunities, but for applying to big tech companies in general, I think one advantage that we have as candidates is that there's a lot of information out there from people who have applied and gotten into these big tech companies. Like Reddit has a lot of information. There are YouTube videos specifically aimed at getting into certain big tech companies. So I think just leveraging those resources and seeing what the company looks for in particular, and then tailoring your application to fit that would be a good tip too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
the way, I don't know. I think Google likes their resume structured differently from like Amazon. I don't know. But like the stuff like that would be online.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, tailor it to sit.
Exactly. So be resourceful. Go online and research. Yeah. You want to add?
Nothing else.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. I will also add that while you are in Nigeria, kind of look for opportunities that, like, you have to make your research, like she said, be resourceful. Look for opportunities outside of your community. Don't just rely on, oh, I have this African company, I have this NGO in Nigeria. Look beyond those things around you. Yeah, look beyond those things around you. Funny thing is, someone, I think it was a that mentioned communities. Being among communities really, really, it helps a lot, because you see all those openings, they drop it there. Like one company in so is looking to hire this person, right? So these communities will help you to see those international roles, right? And then there's the aspect of you tailoring what you have to fit their requirement. Yeah, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it on that. Thank you, Oguntuji Alima. Thank you. You know, I sort of want to come to our speakers on something, because you know they are all in their final years or final year of school. University of Ottawa, Carleton University, right? And I know most people don't want to answer the question of what do you see yourself doing after graduation. It's crazy. I also don't know, but you probably know. Okay, can you guys tell us what you like? Do you have goals after graduation? And if you want to tell us about like the non-technical aspect of what you do, if like let us have it. Yeah, those big goals.
Guys.
Ife has been saving us a lot.
I want to buy a drum.
Okay.
Good God.
Yeah.
She wants to buy a drum.
You want a job before you get the job.
Oh yeah, a job first, by God's grace, and then I'll buy a drum. And I also want to join like a soccer league.
So if you want to buy a drum, are you already a drummer or you are just learning or
I'm kind of like in that.
She's a drummer.
I'm a drummer, like
Okay.
yeah, but I want to practice more
okay?
and actually, know how to navigate my way around the drum.
You know that's interesting because we don't really have female drummers.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, and then join a soccer league after graduation. I feel like with a more stable time, like full time schedule, I'll be able to fit soccer. I hope.
Yeah.
Soccer.
But yeah.
Chico is giving us this tomboyish vibe. Like drum, ew.
Not the ew.
And then soccer. Well, those are really big dreams for real. I know most of us in tech, everything is just about tech and we are not really exploring other things, right? So she's telling us she get them going. Like, okay. And is that everything? Just drums and just drums and soccer?
Learn how to drive.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. I don't know really. Probably visit my friend in the US.
Your one friend.
Yeah, when that time comes, we'll see.
You know what Chigo is telling us right now is that after graduation, it's total enjoyment. I cannot come and keep myself. Girl. Okay, that makes sense. Non-tech stuff is like you are saying bye-bye to tech and like
Obviously, like there's work now. Okay, yeah, for a better, like a more structured answer after graduation, hopefully I'll get a full-time offer from the company I'm currently interning at.
yeah.
Then non-tech, probably soccer. Invest more into like extracurricular. Not really, but like playing soccer, buying a drum kit, learning how to drive. And also just visiting some people like in Toronto, visiting my family in Toronto, visiting my friend in the US, and just like, we'll see. Basically, that's it.
Amazing.
Okay, for me it's pretty much almost similar. I mean, in just like the generals of
Right.
okay, there's the tech side. Of course, after graduating by God's grace, I'll be working full time. I mean, technically, I am doing my courses in December.
Okay.
So January to like April is just hopefully it's just gonna be like relaxing, chilling with the fam,
Aww.
traveling with friends.
Imagine Esther comes back.
No, not too much. No, I will be gymming. I have some gym goals.
That will
Guys.
actually be good to see.
Horrible of Calgary.
No. I'll come back with biceps.
Hey, let's go.
BDL, things like that.
Okay.
So yeah, and just like I guess improving like not really soft, but like the skills I already have, like in music, for example, and just playing video games, and just enjoying life.
You play video games.
I do, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Those are things I don't know how to do. That's amazing. Video games. Okay. So you are going to get PS5. I know they use PS.
I have a PS5.
Oh, come on. Okay. Okay, nice. This is amazing. Ife, do you want to go now?
Yeah. So, okay, my plan is to have a job.
Yes, I like that. She's the only one in tech here. These other two.
We said jobs.
Yeah, I'd like to go into tech full time
Okay.
and maybe somehow start thinking about making my transition to product management. So I think that's what the next 5 years will be for me.
Okay.
Non-techie things.
Hmm.
Obviously, I play rugby
Please let me
now.
quote you before
Okay,
you
okay.
go there. Product management. Ah, it's interesting. How is that going to happen? Because you are in oh software now product. Where did that motivation come from? Is it a desire?
It is because
Okay.
I love tech and I love software, but I just feel like my natural innate strengths
Hmm.
serve me better when I'm in more client facing roles.
Okay.
And I feel like product management offers like kind of a good balance, maybe more towards the communication between like having that technical know-how and background and also knowing how to communicate that to stakeholders
That's amazing.
and get in buy-in.
This is a skill most of us developers don't have. And you going into that means you see that you have those traits. Communication, client facing jobs. That's interesting. It's also making me realize that you can actually do a lot of things and then eventually say, this one is what I'm gonna do.
And even after this one, you can go. No, never mind.
Yes!
Yeah. Very true.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, product
How about
manager.
you?
Okay. Okay. Never to be cut on fresh. Have you completed your
Yeah,
own?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Ah, okay. I feel like before I came here, I said I wanted to do comsci and then go to med school, but obviously that dream has changed. The more I grow, the more I realize the things I want to do and where I don't actually see myself functioning. So it will probably be being in the industry and continue, like, I want to continue to keep building my skills in the industry, like have that strong industry experience, maybe get to a senior level, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? And then after that, I feel like because my major goal is also tying around artificial intelligence and medicine, so I'll probably think of me, but I think I will eventually do a PhD. But after getting all those skills and after making a lot of oh, we are back. When the internet was lagging, I said I was going to put Ife on the spot. She mentioned briefly about, like, at the very beginning, she mentioned being in athletic, in sport, being athletic, being in sport. Do you see yourself doing that after school too?
I do, obviously, I do. And I think once upon a time I had a dream of, not a dream, of playing for Canada.
Oh,
But I don't know how realistic that is anymore, honestly, given my.
no.
But yeah. But yeah, I definitely see myself playing like in there, like Chiga said for soccer, there are different leagues you can play with. So yeah. Yeah, and rugby is a very physical sport, so you'll see how long I can physically keep playing it. But,
Aha.
yeah, like,
This is bringing one question to my head. If you see yourself actually having a dream of playing for Canada, it means you've gotten to that point where you have that rugby skill. Like, what is it like while you were in school? Okay, you are still in school. Being in rugby, what has it been like for you to have that confidence of working or of playing for Canada? it means you are at a particular milestone in this thing and you think you can jump and be playing for Canada. So where are you right now in your sports thinking?
Okay. I would say first and foremost, to be playing at a university
Mm.
level of sports, you already have to be pretty good.
Mm.
And then I've been playing for 4 years for the university, and I started for 3 of those years, and I was in British Columbia this summer, played with BC, played with some former Olympians, so former Canada players.
We are
So
talking to a big woman
yeah,
here.
but it's been really hard to balance like that aspect
Mm.
of my life and school as well, and sacrifices had to be made on the
Yeah.
school side
Okay.
to feel
I
the
feel like we're all
sports
in the same
dream.
boat.
So yeah.
This is amazing. You can be in tech and also be a, I don't want to say footballer. Footballer was the first thing that
It's
came
okay,
to my mind.
footballer.
You can be in tech and be a footballer. You can be in tech and be in sports and be doing very well at it. That's the point. Be doing very well at that sport and also be coding. This is amazing. We really have big women here and they are trailblazers. Is that what they call them? Trailblazers. I don't know. I'm really happy to know you people. Okay, I think we are wrapping up. Thank you so much. We've spent 1 hour 30 minutes. Uh One last question from Product Queen. I don't want us to end without answering a question. She said, how can I land a remote internship in Canada in product management from Nigeria? We are giving a further question. It's product management now.
I think product queen knows more about product management than me. How can I land a remote internship in Canada in product management from Nigeria?
Okay.
Just apply. Apply for it, and yeah, God will take control.
Honestly speaking, I feel like everything is still around you taking that one step of applying. If you don't apply, there is no way they will see your application. So you want to definitely apply. And companies have product management roles, a lot of them, right? I feel like developers can't function without a product manager for real. So all of these companies are looking for someone in that field. So Troy, what did you say again? Apply.
Apply.
Apply. Okay. Thank you so much. This has been very good. This has been very good.
Mm, will you release this?
Okay. I Let's wrap up with this question. What give us one which one advice? What is that one advice you will give to people in the house? Ladies take their time. They don't rush the questions. Sorry, rubbish British accent.
Oh my gosh. Um,
I'll say I can go first.
Okay.
I would say don't let people tell you what you can and cannot do. And
Dig deeper.
yeah, I'll say when it comes to tech, not just tech, but in every area of life, you know what your passions are. But like there are some people that will try to maybe not bring you down, maybe like due to ignorance. They may try to like, oh, your dream is too big, your whatever, blah 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 blah. And so it's like just like just being able to say your opinions are valid, but like I'm still gonna not really do what I want to do, but like I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to chase that dream. I'm still going to apply. Like whatever people just say. Like obviously, there's some truth in what people say, but like you can take it, filter what you need, and then still do you. But yeah, don't let people tell you what you can
Amazing.
and cannot do.
Amazing. Don't let them dictate your destiny or your future for you. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Chigo.
Yeah, an advice I would give is, like Precious said, just do it. Literally, put yourself out there, and most importantly, don't give up. especially like if you have that dream, like just keep chasing it and just keep working hard and just pray and by God's grace, you get there.
Thank you. Just do it.
Okay, I guess my advice would be to find things outside of tech that you enjoy doing. So don't be too, what's the word? Don't be too,
One-sided.
I don't know what the word is.
One-sided.
Like one-sided, yeah. Be multifaceted. So
Hey,
like,
that's the word.
have other things that you're into, and
Yeah.
those other things end up enhancing what you bring to the company.
Okay, I'm learning. Okay, my next job, I'll tell them I'm trying to be multifaceted. Thank you. That's really
Influencer,
profound.
developer,
Ah.
machine learning,
I don't know.
fashion icon, dancing queen, product.
Don't be raising me up. You know my weak spot. But that is really profound. That is really profound. That is really profound. Be multifaceted and don't just be one-sided in everything. This is going to be the end of this session. Thank you so much. A very big shout out to our moderator in the comments in the side of the screen. She has been helping us with the questions on the screen so far. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. And oh my God, sometimes I feel like I don't deserve these girls. They had to leave their job, school, assignments, deadlines, church to come and be on this platform. It's really amazing, and they've been able to give us a lot of advice. They've shared their life story. Not everyone is like comfortable with talking about themselves on a platform like this, especially, right? But they did that willingly, and they are here with us today giving us all these bars. And I feel like each one of them, they connected with this goal of like helping people all the way from Africa to also see the possibilities out there for them. I really appreciate them. I believe you guys appreciate them too. You can put something in the comment section so that my head can swell. Thank you so much, guys. I
Thank
really
you for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Okay, this is the end. We've covered a lot of things today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with those that need it. I think I need someone with a UK accent to say that.
Go Esther, go.
Go Esther, go Esther.
All right, guys. All right, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, and drop your comments in the section. Thank you so much. A for effort.
That's amazing. Okay. Wow. So you have it in you like that.
She's multifaceted.
It's multifaceted. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. So this is the end of this session. Bye bye.